In this video, I'll be sharing 5 simple ways that help create a luxury experience in your African Airbnb instantly. And no, turning your Airbnb on the continent into a 5-star experience isn't about spending thousands, but about knowing a few secrets that even high-end hotels don't want you to know. My name is Wayne Tesfaye. I moved from Germany to Ethiopia in 2019, built my first Airbnb in Addis, and then expanded to Zanzibar. I've made almost every single Airbnb mistake you can make on the continent. Wrong avatar, wrong pricing, wrong partners. Today I run multiple listings across East Africa remotely and mentor hosts and investors inside our private Homebase Africa community. Now, I get a lot of inspiration for my Airbnbs from the most luxurious hotels in Africa, spent nights in high-end boutique hotels, and over time I started noticing a pattern, small details that made a huge difference in how these spaces felt. So today I'm breaking it all down, how to bring hotel luxury into your Airbnb instantly, whether in Nairobi, Zanzibar, Cape Town or Dakar, without breaking the bank. Number 1, let's start with the centerpiece, the bed. If you do only one thing from this video, please do this. Switch to pure white and 100% cotton sheets, not microfiber, not blends. Why? Because white instantly signals crisp, clean and hygienic. The same signals luxury hotels rely on. White makes cleanliness visible. Guests can see if something isn't right, and that transparency builds trust. Also, make sure to always steam or iron the top of the flat sheet and duvet cover, the part that guests actually see. You don't need to iron everything, just the sidelines. Now, you might ask yourself, why not colors or patterns? And there's basically 2 main reasons for that. Number 1 is perception. Guests are trained by hotels to read white as clean. And the second reason is operations. White bed sheets are easier to bleach, to brighten, and replace without worrying about dye variation. If a sheet is beyond saving, you replace one piece and it still matches the set. Now, of course, you can and also should add some finishing touches. For example, while keeping the palette all white, you should introduce texture with a neutral throw, or color with an African print, and not multiple colored cushions that become dust catchers. So the 5-star bed formula is simple. All white, 100% breathable cotton, and crisp presentation. You will feel the difference. Your photos will sell the difference, and your reviews will shout the difference. Alright, next up, number 2, let's talk about scent, the invisible luxury. All luxury hotels have a signature fragrance. Have you ever walked into a Ritz-Carlton, a Hyatt Regency, or a Four Seasons and noticed that the air is different? Like, it's subtle, it's fresh, it's calming and relaxing. As I've mentioned earlier, I draw a lot of inspiration for my Airbnbs from top hotels. I remember vividly how I once walked into the Park Hyatt in Stone Town, Zanzibar, and the air smelled like a spa. I could smell lemongrass, and I think it was lavender and something else I couldn't even identify. However, I remember how stressed I was the moments before I entered the Park Hyatt, because I was actually rushing from the East Coast to the Park Hyatt because of their stable internet and because of an online meeting I had to attend. And I remember how that smell instantly calmed my nervous system. And because of that experience, I brought that idea into my own Airbnbs. And you too can copy it today. Here is how. Invest in essential oil diffusers and high quality essential oils and scents that give a spa vibe. For instance, I'm obsessed with lemongrass because it smells clean, fresh, and uplifting. But I also love lavender, which is known to be very calming to the nervous system and helps you to have a good night's sleep. Another one of my favorites is white musk. Love to use this in my private home. It just smells so soft and luxurious. However, you can also try vanilla, which is warm and comforting. Now, the placement of the essential oil diffusers matters. Position them near entry, not hidden in a corner. And ideally, you have more than just one. You can use one diffuser to cover the living room, and then you can also use smaller units for each bedroom. Trust me, this is a game changer. I see so many Airbnb hosts using those cheap air fresheners. Please stop that. They often hit hard, and usually their smell is not really nice. And on top of that, the smell often fades fast. Diffusers, on the other hand, create a soft and lasting scent. Cost-wise, this is tiny. A good diffuser plus 1 or 2 high-quality essential oils is a one-time and low-cost upgrade. But the perceived value, huge. Trust me, it sets you apart from every other regular Airbnb in your area. Scent is so powerful because it plugs straight into the parts of the brain that handle emotion and memory. That first breath guests take when entering your property sets the mood and becomes an emotional anchor. Guests will instantly associate your place with relaxation, with calmness, cleanliness, and care. Practically, that also means fewer subconscious red flags and more, this feels so fresh and safe, and a better mood before they even see the bedroom. Next, let's get to number 3, the welcome drink. It's a small gesture, big luxury, and trust me, the fastest way to make guests feel expected and not just booked. I stole this idea from a beautiful hotel in Zanzibar. I remember we arrived, we were tired, it was hot, I was thirsty, and on arrival they offered us this super delicious, cold and fresh fruit juice. In that moment, I felt so welcomed. I felt so well taken care of and seen. That feeling is what 5-star is made of. And again, I copied this idea into all my Airbnbs. In Addis Ababa, our guests are welcomed with freshly roasted and traditionally brewed Ethiopian coffee, and they love it. I mean, Ethiopia is known for its coffee culture, and how amazing is that, being welcomed to your place with a freshly brewed Ethiopian coffee. But your version doesn't have to be fresh juice or freshly brewed coffee. It's about the gesture. It's about showing the guest that you care, that you have thought of them. And so the goal isn't fancy, it's thoughtful. You know, local flavors, whatever is famous in your country, it can be a nice tea blend, it can be a specific type of fruit that you can process into a juice. You know, local flavors that say you've arrived. Now, what if you use self-check-in, or let's say your guests arrive late? No problem at all. In this case, I tell my team to prepare a fresh juice, pour it into a beautiful jug, store it in the fridge, and leave a handwritten note. I also always inform my guests via WhatsApp, a note that says, "Welcome to your home away from home. We prepared a fresh mango and passion fruit juice for you. Please help yourself. We are glad you are here." And guests love it. That tiny surprise changes the mood instantly. Guests will say, "Wow, they have thought about us." And imagine the cost per stay, maybe $2 or $3. The impact? Memorable first impression. Reviews mentioning a warm welcome, thoughtful, 5-star treatment. And that language will attract more bookings and supports premium pricing. You need to understand that luxury isn't only marble or chandeliers. It's how you make people feel. However, it's very important to be considerate here. Like, for instance, keep it non-alcoholic and avoid dairy or nuts because some people might be allergic. Next up, number 4, the welcome gift basket. Locally made and instantly memorable. It's a tiny gesture that will bring so much joy to your guests and also supports your local community. And again, this is not about price, it's about thoughtfulness. Ideally, keep it local and also usable. For instance, I always gift a bar of organic and locally made Zanzibar soap. They have different types, like for instance baobab, sandal, they have cinnamon, cloves, turmeric, or a mini natural lotion or essential oil. I also always place a mini bottle of fresh and locally made coconut oil into the basket. But it can also be a hand-woven keychain, a locally made bracelet, or a bookmark. Also think of packaged local snacks or herbal teas. Again, what I do, and is one of my favorites, and guests love it, is gifting a locally made Zanzibar soap. And my team always wraps them in a strip of kitenge. This looks so beautiful, and it's just the perfect gift in my opinion, because it looks beautiful, it smells amazing, and it tells a story about where they are. You can place one gift per guest in a basket, add a handwritten note about that gift, and add a fresh flower on top, and voila! Instant boutique feel. You can make gifts even more meaningful by buying from local artisans, women's cooperation, or initiatives that support and uplift local communities. Just don't forget to mention that in the handwritten note. To keep the cost low, I always buy many bars of soap and then ask for a bulk pricing and then store them in a sealed bin. Again, these gifts don't have to be expensive. What guests remember is the kindness, especially when they didn't expect it. Again, just make sure that the gifts are local. Ideally, really useful and beautifully presented. That's the luxury. Again, trust me when I say that 10-second moment sets the tone. You're not just renting a space, you are hosting with heart. And that emotion, again, shows up in the reviews as thoughtful, personal, kind, felt cared for. Now, last but not least, let's get to number 5. Fresh flowers. Small gesture, big upgrade. A simple bouquet in your Airbnb and a few blossoms to decorate the bed and the gift baskets and maybe an amenities tray can transform the vibe from rental to boutique stay in seconds. Because flowers do 3 things really well. Number 1, emotion. They signal care and celebration. Guests will feel welcomed and special. Number 2, the perception of cleanliness. Bright and healthy blossoms make spaces feel fresh and intentional. And number 3, they simply smell amazing. You don't need a florist, okay? One modest bouquet for the living room and a few blossoms, again, to decorate the bed, the gift basket, and the bath amenities tray. That's it. Luxury is in the details, not the price tag. Just make sure to use a clean vase, cool and fresh water, and a pinch of sugar. If you or your staff pick flowers from outside, maybe you are blessed with a beautiful tropical garden like we are on the island of Zanzibar, right? We don't buy flowers, we just pick them from the garden. Just make sure there's no ants inside, because in the beginning we didn't really pay attention to that, and then guests complained that small ants were all over their bed and these small ants were hiding inside these blossoms. And last but not least, make sure that your staff changes the water every 48 hours and also removes the old stems immediately. Cost? Again, sometimes for free if you're blessed with a lush tropical garden and environment, or just a few dollars per stay from a local market or roadside vendor. The payoff? Guests will consistently perceive your space as beautiful, as thoughtful and luxurious, which again will boost your review score and supports premium pricing. And you know the best part about flowers? They are universally appreciated. They look beautiful, smell amazing, and most importantly say, "We prepared for you." So please keep it simple. One bouquet, 3 or 4 more touch points, like the bed, the gift basket, the bathroom. Fresh, minimal, and memorable. And I'm gonna highlight minimal here. Sometimes you need to train your cleaners, because when I once let my cleaner decorate the bed with blossoms, it was just a little bit too much. So I showed her a few pictures from boutique and luxury hotels that inspired me and asked her to arrange the blossoms in that exact same way. And that's basically my 5 instant upgrades. Together, they create a 5-star feel without a 5-star budget. If you're hosting on the African continent and your Airbnb is struggling to get more bookings and 5-star reviews, or if you're serious about launching your Airbnb business on the continent, then you should definitely check out my Homebase Africa community. It's the #1 and the most powerful entrepreneur network and community for people investing into Africa's short-term rental industry, where I give you guys direct access to a circle of mentors, experienced hosts, and people on the same path like you. People who will support you, who will hold you accountable, who will share their knowledge, their resources and strategies. Every week we do 2 live calls where you can directly ask your questions. All you have to do is click the link in the description below to join. I can't wait to see you inside. Having said that, I hope you enjoyed today's episode and found some value in it, and I look forward to see you in the next video.